Team of the week time then. For the second weekend of the July internationals, which players wore their jersey the best? This is quite a difficult one to assess because a lot of these games were completely one-sided and a lot of players were up against inferior opposition as it turned out, which makes it quite hard to judge on the merits. But I've had a go. Please tell me your thoughts in the chat down below, and if you appreciate the content on the channel, drop a little thumbs up as well. That helps. Loosehead prop, I've gone for Finn Baxter. Looks like a giant baby. He's playing like an international rugby player. England's prop stocks are developing. What has been a weak area looks like it's in the process of being addressed. And Finn Baxter, with the absence of Ellis Genge, really took his opportunity against Argentina in those two games, and especially in the game at the weekend where he was dominant at scrum time, busy around the park. I would say the loosehead prop stocks overall, not the best performing of positions. I was disappointed Thomas de Tank for South Africa wasn't more dominant at scrum time, but I suppose fair play to Simone Ferrari for that one, although Oxenche came on and atomised the Italian scrum. Thomas Gaggio was disappointing for Argentina. We know how good he can be. Ethan de Groot was solid enough. Jack Boyle, good enough against a poor Portugal team. The person I've gone on the bench, Pierre Schumann, who had a busy game, good at scrum time again, so hard working around the park, and he was even involved in that Ronan Kelleher little 1-2 for the try as well. So I've given the spot on the bench to Pierre Schumann. At hooker, now this was a lot harder to pick because there were many more very, very good competitors. The best of the lot of them, and one of the best players of the whole weekend, frankly, was Cody Taylor. The guy's evergreen. He's the last year or so, the rugby he's playing he's probably the best hooker on the planet. I know Dan Sheehan spent a lot of that time injured. I'd say Dan Sheehan and Cody Taylor, two best hookers on the planet, just in terms of pure form and what they've shown on the international stage. And I'd say Dan Sheehan is the best hooker, with Malcolm Marks in the mix as well. But on the just international rugby that we've seen, Cody Taylor, absolutely elite. Malcolm Marks, as I just mentioned him, he was superb as well. I've given the spot on the bench for Davita Ikaniver, who was the captain for Fiji and put in a proper leader's performance, just like Cody Taylor, got himself a try, but he just marshalled that Fiji team to a really strong win against Scotland, which, they won comfortably, but they could have won by more. Really good performance from him. Tight head prop. Funnily enough, the two guys I've picked are the two guys that would have been in contention for a British and Irish Lions spot, with Andy Farrell calling up more names. Joe Hayes thought he had another really strong game for England. He was opposite Thomas Gaggio, and he put him to the sword at scrum time, and his carries good in heavy traffic. Joe Hayes looking really good. The guy who did get called up for the British and Irish Lions didn't look too shabby either. Thomas Clarkson had a magnificent end to the season, brilliant in the URC final, and he's continuing that form for Ireland, albeit against a very, very poor Portugal team. But he's in. Second row, Patrick Tuipulotu. Carries, tackles, rucks, lineouts, takes, and a lineout steal. Massive performance. And he goes in the engine room alongside his teammate Fabian Holland in my team of the week for the second straight week. What a talent this kid is. What a talent. The engine of the guy, he's gone 80 minutes twice in a row. The support in the build up to the Tupu Vai try. I thought Ruan Nokia was really good as well, so I'll give him a shout. But Tuipulotu and Holland, the picks of the second rows for me over the weekend. And to continue, 3 in a row for New Zealand, Tupu Vai, huge defensive shift. We quite often see him in the wide channels as a ball carrier, but he actually really put his shoulder in and did what a classic 6 you would expect them to do. 6. I know France play left, right. South Africa switch their 6s and 7s around. And New Zealand 6, what they would expect him to do. Massive defensive shift. But when the opportunity was there, as we saw for his try, got some wheels and a good support line as well. I'm going to make it 4 New Zealanders in a row in the pack. Ardi Savia is elite. I'll just leave it there. He was amazing. Just, if you haven't watched the game, just watch it again and just watch Ardi. So violent when he carries. It's awesome. I'd give a shout for Ben Curry and Guy Pepper in the back row for England. I thought they were both exceptional. Peter Steph Toy, good to see him back, just ending people. But Ardi gets in, and talk about violent ball carriers. Loved that Ben Earl. and he's put himself in right in the mix for the Test 23 for this weekend. Andy Farrell's got a big decision in the back row for the Lions. I think Ben Earl will make the 23, and the performance he put in at the weekend might be the reason why. The only caveat to that is it was a poor opposition, the Anzac team they were playing, so we will see. And again, talking of violent carries, look no further than England's Tom Willis. How on earth is Steve Borthwick going to pick a back row with all of the players? You could pick a team of back rowers for England. Maybe that's why he started putting players in the back line, just so he can accommodate more of his back rowers in the team. And to complete the pack, also on the bench, I would give a little shout for Bill Matter of Fiji, who I thought was really good. But Marco van Staden had an excellent game. And in the absence of Sia Khaleesi, and some people have questioned Marco van Staden's performances, he seems to do like better for the box than he does even for the Bulls. And that speaks to the fact he's got 2 World Cup winners' medals under his belt. It speaks to the talent of the guy. He was awesome. Right, that's the forwards. Let me know what you think. And look, if you haven't already, I would love it if you would hit subscribe on the channel. Let's get into the backs. And scrum half in my team of the week, Ben White. And he's put himself in the mix for selection for the Test 23. I suspect it will be Alex Mitchell because Ben White was a late replacement on tour, but he's got that relationship with Finn Russell, who's going to be the 10. So it would make sense. I would not be surprised if Ben White were picked. I think it'll probably be Alex Mitchell, but Ben White did all he could at the weekend. He was great, got a try, quick to the breakdown, quick ball away, just does the simple things really well. I thought Grant Williams for South Africa was excellent, and it looks like he's the first choice Bok 9 in what is a pretty stacked field, but with no one scrum half really taking the reins. Grant Williams looked like he may have done that at the weekend, but we'll see. There's different options, and his combination with Marnie Libok is great. One person who has emerged from the field and is the absolute go-to number 9, probably the best scrum half in the Southern Hemisphere right now, one of the best in the world, Cam Roygaard. Big old unit, can shift, and can do all the basic scrum half things really well. He is absolutely ace, and had a really strong game against France in their beatdown of them. So there's the halfbacks, the scrum halves, I should say, to complete the halfbacks. Marnie Libok, already mentioned him and his combination with Grant Williams. That looks really good. And yeah, Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu looks like the future. Andre Pollard is the Iceman, the clutch king. Marnie Libok's distribution, his passing and his choices and the amount of time he seems to have. Amazing. South Africa have got brilliant options at fly half, whoever ends up getting the gig. I thought outside of Libok, there wasn't really a fly half which totally dominated and bossed it in the same way. So I'm not going to put a replacement fly half on my bench. I'm going to give that to someone else who I think deserves it, because I tell you what, the options at centre, it is fierce. So many strong performers. Joshua Tuisova absolutely dominated Scotland's gain line. Tom Jordan did not have an answer. He just was a battering ram and gave Fiji that go forward. It's such an important role in a team. It's why, despite the combination of Tuipulotu and Jones for Scotland, I do wonder whether Bundyaki will get the gig for the Lions this weekend, because you saw it with Joshua Tuisova. You saw it with Andre Esterhazen, who was so close to getting in my team of the week. He was brilliant as well. And for him to be as good as he is and have as few caps as he has, because Damien Dialende is absolutely world-class, maybe the best in the business at it. It's wild how good the players in that position are. And outside centre was so good. I've gone for Kanan Moody. Kid's got it. The kid has got it. And again, another player, a little bit like Marco van Staden. He played almost better in this game for the Boks than he has done for the Bulls. And I think that speaks to the elite mentality that he's got. And the competition that there is for positions for the Boks just means when you get a chance, you have to take it. And the fact that he had to take his chance, and he did, he's got Ethan Hooker breathing down his neck now. Yeah, he's got an elite mentality. Hugh Gavin for Ireland, what a promising debut for him as well. And I can't believe Hugh Jones is only on the bench. How good was Hugh Jones? In the absence of Gary Ringrose, total confidence that you can pick him for the Lions, and the British and Irish Lions have a brilliant outside centre. But he didn't quite make it into the starting team, but he's definitely in my squad. Into the back 3 then, man, talk about fireworks here. Juanito Wainakolo, one of the best individual performances of the weekend. In fact, I'm going to say it, the best individual performance of the weekend. He was top tier. My goodness me, his footwork and gas, his reading of the game, his skills, unreal. He was so good. So, yeah, congratulations to Fiji on a brilliant win. Edwil van der Merwe, I cannot believe that was only his second start. The last game he started was a year ago against Wales. And again, just like I said with Kane and Moody, that's because there are so many good options. You've got Mapimpi, who was pretty good on the other wing, and you've got Colby and Arendse. So when you get your chance, you have to take it. And every time Edwil van der Merwe has been given an opportunity, he's nailed it. So will he get more? You'd think on the strength of that performance, he will. But the oppositions and the challenges will be tougher for him. We'll see. Tommy O'Brien, I thought was absolutely brilliant and doesn't quite make it in because of the quality of the other players. I'm going to put Salisa Rayasi in at fullback as well. Dynamite back three, Fiji have got. And they're missing a few players there as well. Hugo Keenan, really competent, strong, conviction in his performance for the Lions. And if he starts this weekend, that was great to see. I'm going to put his, not for the Lions, but his teammate for Ireland, Shane Bolton, on the bench. Dynamite game from him. So powerful and rapid as well. And him and Tommy O'Brien look so much fun on the wings for Ireland. Again, a really poor Portugal team, but I had to put him in anyway. It would be impossible for us to completely agree on what my team of the week is, but I've had a crack there, and there it is. Back to Taylor Hayes. 5 New Zealanders in the pack. That speaks to the developing options that they've got there. Some of those guys younger, Holland and Vai adding to Cody Taylor and Savia and what they've got, and Tuipulotu showing they have depth. England's prop stocks are improving. We've seen that against Argentina. Guys on the fringes for the British and Irish Lions, Earl and White, really putting their hand up. South Africa with some dynamite backs. And actually, Libbok, Moody and van der Merwe are 3 bocks that probably wouldn't start in a World Cup final if there was one this weekend. And that just speaks to the depth they've got. And maybe the result of the weekend was Fiji beating Scotland so convincingly. Yes, Scotland were missing a few players. So were Fiji. Maybe England against Argentina was an even more impressive result. But whatever the case, Fiji got some absolute ballers. And yeah, a South Africa-Fiji backline and a kind of England-New Zealand pack. Some handy players on the bench. There's my team of the week. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you on the next video.